Shalom Aleichem. Friends, Chaim Malevsky here, Chabad Family Programs of the West Side. Today is one day after Pesach Sheini. It's the 15th day of the month of Iyar. Yesterday was the 14th. Pesach Sheini, second Pesach. It's a biblical holiday. Maybe not so well known, but of great magnitude and great importance and relevance and meaning in our day-to-day life. And here's one take on it. So the quick review of the biblical historical fact was that it was while the Jewish people had just left Egypt, and they were instructed to offer the sacrifice, the Korban Pesach, the Paschal sacrifice, and some people were impure, ritually impure, because they had brought out the bones of Yosef from Mitzrayim, from Egypt. So they had touched a dead body, they were ritually impure, and maybe others in a similar situation. And because of that, they weren't able to offer the Korban, to bring the sacrifice of the Korban Pesach. They didn't like that idea. God gave this monumental opportunity of connection with God through this Paschal sacrifice, and they were deprived from this opportunity, from this offer, from this experience. So they complained. They went to Moshe and they said, this is perhaps one of the first real complaints of it's not fair in the Torah. And they said, Lama nigara, why should we be left out from the opportunity to bring this Korban Pesach, this Paschal sacrifice? Moshe brought their quest to God, and God responded, tell them that whoever was unable to bring the Korban Pesach, this Paschal sacrifice, either because they were ritually impure, they were tamei, or b'derech rechoka, or they were far away, they were just too far from the temple, they weren't able to be in the proximity of the temple where the offering needs to be brought, or lachem, and the word in the Torah is used lachem. Lachem means for you, for yourselves, and it's translated as even if it was intentional, if the reason why the person didn't give the korban, didn't bring the sacrifice, was an intentional one. He was able to do it. He or she just didn't do it for whatever reason. Says God to Moshe, tell the Jewish people that they have a second chance on exactly 1 month later, on the 14th day of the month of Iyar, which was yesterday. Then they could bring their korban, they could bring the sacrifice. And that's what happened. The Hasidic masters, especially our Rebbe, took this for a long, strong ride in our personal relevance. And he said that Pesach Sheini, the message of Pesach Sheini, the relevance in our life, aside from the historical fact, is that there's never a lost opportunity. There's always another chance to make up for something that we missed. In Yiddish, he says, "Es is nita kein farfallen," that loosely translated, it's never too late, but more accurately, it would be closer to, it's never beyond the point of repair. Something is never missed completely where you can't fix it. Das ist nicht kein Verfallen. But loosely translated, it's never too late. So the Rebbe says, we take this in our lives between man and God, in our relationship between us and God, and also in our relationship between man and man, bein adam lamakom and bein adam lachavero, and find areas in which we were lacking and missed out opportunities to bring the sacrifice, to do the right thing. And now we have this message that it's never too late. We can always repair. But the Rebbe says we see something even different, above and beyond, something that's unique with this specific korban of Pesach Sheini, the second Pesach, that you don't find anywhere else in the Torah. And that's a fascinating idea. And the Rebbe again brings that into our personal lives' relevance. And he says that we know the point of the Pesach Sheini is a repair for someone who is not able to bring the korban Pesach. But how about if one didn't need to bring the korban Pesach, wasn't obligated to bring the sacrifice by the first Pesach, by the first Pesach, what happens in the second Pesach? And he gives two examples. And he says if somebody's going to convert, in the process of conversion, and he wasn't yet Jewish by the time the first Pesach came around, but the second Pesach he was already Jewish. And another circumstance is if there's a bar mitzvah boy who's turning bar mitzvah after the first Pesach, that means both of these people were not obligated at all to bring the korban Pesach, to bring the first offering of the Paschal sacrifice. What do they do a month later? Do they bring it or do they not? What do you think? So it seems like the logical conclusion would be they don't bring it because if there's nothing broken, why fix it? They weren't obligated, the convert who's converting and the boy who's not yet bar mitzvah. But the Torah says, and the law is, that they actually do bring the korban Pesach. So both the person who converted and the bar mitzvah boy bring the second korban, the second offering on the 14th of Iyar, which is yesterday. Says the Rebbe, here we have a unique situation and also a unique lesson for us, that even when things are great and things are perfect and there's no broken thing to repair, nothing broken to fix, no missed opportunities, that we need to go back and say, oh darn, I need to fix this. Nevertheless, we still celebrate Pesach Sheini, and we still celebrate it today in the exile, in the Galut, thousands of years later, which technically what we do is we eat matzah and we speak about this fixing, repairing the past, and we celebrate it. And so the Rebbe says that even this teaches us a unique lesson where when you don't have anything to repair, you can still upgrade and celebrate Pesach Sheini on this day. That's the story for today. Gotta run back home. I have a class starting right now. God bless you all. Pesach Sheini was yesterday, so it's never too late, so you can still celebrate it today. Take care.